Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I'm going to shoot a video about Dr. Paul. Sorry about the coffee. Anyway, yeah, I watched the 48-minute speech that Dr. Paul had last night. It was a great speech. He talked about his 23 years in Congress. I don't know how he got to 23 years. Maybe he got one in where he was in the middle. But since 1976, he said in 36 years he had served 23 years in U.S. Congress, and that he had had no real legislative accomplishments. He had had no ability to stop the great amount of legislation and the regulations that have gone. He pretty much said that he had not been successful. And then he got into explaining his positions, and he asked a lot of really good questions. You know, about why we have such a big military, why liberals are concerned about free speech, but they're not concerned about free markets, and why conservatives are concerned about free markets, but they're not concerned about free speech when they're all concerning freedom. He asked a lot of questions, a lot of very important questions. Showed he's a very smart man, a very compassionate man. And then he pretty much critiqued the idea of political change. He pretty much didn't believe in it. From what I could understand, he pretty much blamed you and blamed me on the problems that we have. He pretty much put the blame on us. He echoed what George Carlin had said, that he didn't attack politicians because he thought that people were the problem, that we get the politicians that we deserve, that we get from politics exactly what we deserve, and I agree with him. I see this a lot. I see a lot of cynical people complaining about politicians and complaining about this. And I understand that politicians get a lot more out of these things than us, and they pay attention, and we don't really get much out of it, so we don't have the ability to organize. But I think ultimately we're the problem. And I'm going to say here in this video who I think is the problem. The number one problem are the Tea Party. Those people. The people who believe that Israel should get whatever they want, no matter what they do. The people who believe the military is too small, that we need to grow. The people who believe that Mr. Obama is soft and people run all over us and people don't respect us. These people are idiots. These people don't pay attention. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea. They think it's justified that we have bases in almost every country in the world, that we spend $80 billion a year to defend Germany and Japan. We spent $1 trillion on an F-35 plane that is meant to fight an industrial superpower when there is no industrial superpower. We're being drawn into a war with Iran, and Iran has not started a war in 1,400 years. China has not started a war. I don't know when. I mean, they had a war with Vietnam, and they attacked Taiwan or shot a missile over the top of Taiwan, only because that's how they feel that's their country. They feel that that's theirs. They're certainly not going to go into Europe. They're certainly not going to do that. In fact, their whole history in the last 20 years has been to use their power in a soft manner. They don't use hard power. So these people who want us to keep spending on the military no matter what, they're idiots. They're a big problem. That's the first place we should cut. We have to cut there. The second people of the problem are the entitled people. You know, I've got unemployment all this year, and I appreciate it. It's pretty much saved my butt. But I don't feel I'm entitled to it. I don't feel that, I'm special. I'm glad I got it. I'm glad Mr. Obama extended the time I could get it. It's pretty much saved my butt and saved my wife's butt. But I don't feel that I'm entitled to it. I hope in 15 years when I'm 67, I hope there's a Social Security Administration, and I hope they're able to pay me my Social Security. But I don't feel entitled. I don't feel like I deserve it. I pretty much think of Social Security as just another tax. It's just another way they tax us. I hope we can get health care for all, but I don't feel that we're entitled to it. I don't believe in entitlements. I don't believe in rights. I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe you have a right to anything. I don't believe in that. And I think far too many Americans believe in that. Far too many Americans think that they deserve what they get. You know, I remember living with a guy in San Diego where he got check after check for serving in the military. You know, he thought he deserved it, and everybody else was just trash. You know, this is that same mentality. That's the problem. We don't deserve it. We should be happy for what we have. We should be happy for the kind of republic that we built, that we take care of each other like that. But we're not entitled. So I pretty much think that Ron Paul, I agree with him. I think we have a nation of idiots. We have a nation of people who don't understand their country, don't understand how things really work, and we're going to pay for it. I don't know how it's going to work. I think there's going to be some kind of dollar breakdown. A lot of us are going to lose everything we had. A lot of us are going to die. I like to use the example that I heard of this Indian guy that was on Crosstalk, this show on Russia Today. He said that when Russia broke down in 1998, the average lifespan was 73. And 10 years later, the average lifespan was 57. So people lost 14 years of their life. 300 million people lost 14 years. So, I mean, that's extraordinary to lose that much life. I mean, that would be like 30 million people dying. So I think the same thing's going to happen to us. I think we're going to have a collapse. I think a lot of people aren't going to take it. A lot of people, for instance, a lot of people aren't going to get their meds. A lot of people aren't going to get their prescriptions. A lot of people are going to panic. There's going to be a lot of crime. There's going to be a lot of bloodshed. There's going to be a lot of people pull their guns on each other. It's just not going to be pretty. But I think when it's all over, we'll return to the republic that we started with. I think we have enough sense to do that. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to any of this. I hope Dr. Paul's wrong, but I would hate to argue with him. He's just really smart. So, I'm the problem. You're the problem. Thank you.